everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This week I'm going to be taking you on one of my interval training sessions and also explaining what it is that I'm currently training for. So this is one of the questions I actually get asked most at the moment, and I wanted to answer it because I'm actually, I guess, in my 4th week of training for a particular time trial, not a particular event, and people have been seeing my training and being like, so why have you suddenly increased your mileage and you're doing 2 interval sessions a week and all this kind of stuff? I can't hold it in any longer, so I'm gonna tell you guys. And this is also a bit of an experiment. Yeah, without further ado, I guess I'm just gonna tell you guys. A few weeks ago, you may remember, I did the Bristol 10K, and a couple of weeks before that, I did another 10K in Westonbirt Arboretum, which is a trail 10K. Both of those were to get a sort of baseline 10K speed for where I'm at right now, and I think it's probably no surprise to any of you that having taken 3 months off and having just done really long ultra marathons in the months preceding that, my pace right now is pretty slow for what I'm capable of. And of course it's all relative, so for me, I know that I can run faster than I have been running recently. Because of that, I am now training for a 10K time trial. Earlier last year, kind of April time, I did a 5K time trial, and my goal was to get under 20 minutes for 5K. I wanted to shift towards a 10K straight after that, but because I had an ultra marathon coming up relatively soon after that, in fact 2 ultra marathons, including Highland Ultra, which was my biggest ultra marathon later that year, a 3-day event, I actually needed to shift to longer runs quite quickly after that. So I never actually got the chance to do a 10K time trial within that, although kind of ironically, my 10K PB, unofficial PB, is actually from a training session that I did as part of that 5K training. So my 10K PB at the moment is 43:40. I got 43:55 for Bristol 10K, and that is kind of what I'm using as my baseline 10K sort of time for where I'm at the moment. What I'm doing is testing out a new app, and this is the kind of experimental side of things. So previously for big races where I'm kind of delving into the unknown a little bit, I've had the help of a coach. The reason for that is that because I am still relatively new to running and not a personal trainer or a coach myself, I wanted to know that I was doing all the right stuff, and I'm a relatively low mileage runner. I'm not very good at doing major miles without actually getting myself injured. I've been working with a coach, or had been working with a coach, for the 5K time trial, the amazing Holly Rush by Nature on Instagram. If you haven't checked her out already, definitely do go check her out, because she has some amazing training programs and content that she puts out there. Then the last year I've been self-coaching for all the ultra marathons I've been doing, mainly because they've been sort of things that I've understood the kind of training process of, and wanted to challenge myself and see what I could do under my own steam. That had its pros, and it definitely also had its cons. Now I'm going somewhere in between and testing out the Runna app. Runna. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to see if an app can replace a coach for certain things. So whether it is your first couch to 5K, or your first trail marathon, or your first ultra marathon, I think Runna has it all. And this is how it pitches itself. It's basically a coach in your pocket that provides personal training programs for you for the level that you're at to get to the level where you want to be. And so the 10K program is a 10-week training program. Like I said, I'm on week 4 at the moment, and I've been trialing it so that I can talk to you guys about it. And I will continue to publicly trial it over the next 6 weeks to try and get a 10K PB. So anything under 43 minutes I will be very happy with. Theoretically, when I was doing my 5K last year, I wanted to get sub 40, because obviously 20 plus 20 equals 40. That would have been a stretch, but it still probably would have led to a huge PB. If I can get anywhere near 42, I'll be really, really happy. The great thing about the Runna app is that it shows you your predicted time for 10 weeks of training. So the 10K training program is 10 weeks. You can't change how long it is, but you can do things like pre-training, off-season training, that kind of stuff to get you up to a certain standard before you then start those 10 weeks, which I didn't do because I was already running quite a lot. But yeah, so it's 10 weeks, and then it gives you a predicted time based off your current time, those 10 weeks of training, and then it gave me a predicted time of somewhere in the region of 41 to 44 minutes or 43 minutes, something like that. So that's sort of bang on what I would expect for 10 weeks of training, and we'll see what I can do based off that. So I'm just about to head out for a training session right now. I have an unbelievably busy day today, so the only time I can fit in my training session is lunchtime, which I don't mind, but I have just eaten lunch, which is kind of not really ideal. But I'm going to do a slow plod up there, 2.5 kilometers of warm up, then I'm going to do my session, and then 2.5 kilometers of cooling down at the end. The great thing about these as well is that you can do this if you've got a coach, for example, and you make your own sessions, but you can copy them onto your Garmin. So I've got a Garmin here, it's a Garmin Fenix 6S, and I can copy the session from the Runna app onto my Garmin, which means that I just set it off on that workout and it beeps at me every time I'm supposed to be going to like the next stage of the workout. So when I am running and then I go into recovery, for example. So that's incredible, because I don't know if you guys know, but I'm like notoriously bad at counting, especially when I run. There's something about just like my brain just stops functioning. So it's been really good, because say I'm doing like 12 by 1 minute intervals, I will lose count around 4 in. The amount of times I've done like 11 or 13 or 14, and I just very rarely get it bang on. Whereas this tells me when my session is up, which is just brilliant. And it's been going really well so far, but I have been ill for the best part of 2 weeks now, which is really not ideal. So I've been struggling to get in my mileage. For example, last week I only did 15 kilometers. I should have done 44. So that's obviously not ideal, but getting well was my priority, and I think should always be your priority if you are ill, because there's no point trying to get in your sessions and making yourself iller and iller and iller, because it is not healthy. So yeah, I'm gonna go out for a session. I will be bringing my GoPro with me, giving it a go. It says 40 minutes to 45 minutes, but we'll see, because I do a slightly longer warm up and cool down just to get my mileage up a little bit. I'm super excited. So today is the tempo, but I will kind of show you my session day to day for this week. You can choose also whether you want to do strength training. So I said, yes, I do want to do strength training twice a week, and then it gives me particular sessions to do for those. Although I have to say, I don't necessarily stick to those, because I have so much physio stuff that I want to do, or like prehab. I have been not necessarily sticking to their sessions, but I've been sticking to the days where they suggest that I do various sessions. So that's worked out really well. But yeah, I'm gonna head out now. It's a beautifully sunny day. It's pretending to be warm, despite the fact that this morning it was like 4 degrees. Lunchtime run definitely has its perks in terms of that, but I will be heading up now and I'll bring you along with me.
Okay, so to get the training on your watch, you go to, on Garmin this is, I don't know about other things, that you go to training and then workouts, and then these are all the Runna workouts, and then I've got week 4 at the moment, and it says 9 kilometers total, 1.6 kilometer warm up, repeat the following times for 1.2k at 4:25 per kilometer, then 400 meters at 5:30 per kilometer, 1 kilometer cool down. Obviously I'm increasing the warm up and cool down, and then you press this little button at the top here and it says which device you want to sync it to, and then next time I use this watch it will come up on there. So let's give that a go. So you go to run, and then you press back and you press training workouts, and then week 4, there it is. So smart. So anyway, I'm going to do the warm-up first, and then I'm going to set it off on that workout when I'm up at the place. I have a new favourite podcast at the moment as well. It's called Trail Society, and it's run by Keely Henniger, Corin Malcolm, and Hilary Allen, aka Hilly Goat Climbs, whose book, by the way, is incredible. It's called Out and Back Again, if you want another recommendation. And they talk about their experience of trail running, but also women in sport, loads of stats. They're all scientists, so there's a lot of stats. So if you enjoy stats, this is where it's at. But even if you don't, if you just enjoy trail running, which I imagine you do if you're here, then they've got loads of great podcast episodes, and I'm just like working my way back through them because they're all incredible. So that is my recommendation for today. Definitely go check them out. Feeling super sluggish in the warm-up so far. Just done a mile so far, nearly there, and then I reckon it's something to do with I don't know, maybe copious amounts of alcohol at the weekend. I was at a wedding and it was like 3 days, so lots of alcohol, which is obviously not great. I tried not to, but probably more likely it's actually the lack of sleep, just because like if you're boogie in the night away, you know, you don't get huge amounts of sleep, and I need sleep. Like, it's priority numero uno for me is getting good night's sleep, and then also, you know, I've been ill, so try not to pile on the pressure, because priority is just
getting the session done as well as I can. If I can't hit the paces exactly, that's not the end of the world. It's all about effort level, because obviously effort level today is going to be very different pace to the same effort level when I'm feeling super fresh. So yeah, that's something I've learned from last year's 5K training, because it's kind of incredible what a few good nights sleep and a taper week can do for your pacing and how your running feels. So I'm not worried too much, but I'm definitely feeling it today. Okay, just about to start the session, just reading the session notes. Steph is like a pro athlete, by the way, so she knows what she's talking about. Today's session is a good practice of staying on our feet. The 1,200 meter reps will be followed by a jog recovery. This can be as slow as you need, but the aim is not to walk, so that's about recovering on the move. This continued effort keeps the heart rate up between the reps and is a good way to build your speed endurance. Help! No, she didn't write that, that was just me. I'm stressed, I'm nervous, but super psyched to give this a go. Oh, by the way, if you don't have a watch, you can now record on the Runna app. That's literally in the last 4 weeks since I started doing this training program, they've added that, and it gives you like coaching on your phone or in your ears, on your headphones, which I love. I love that feature. I think that's super cool, because obviously running should be accessible, and if you can't afford a watch, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to do really good sessions. So yeah, that's cool. But I'm gonna do it on my watch and I'm gonna set off. I'm back at Hengrove. A tree has like semi-fallen down over there, so I just had to get that out of my way, otherwise I'm gonna have to be jumping over it every single time. But yeah, we're gonna get it done. I'm stressed. First interval, let's go. Alright, first interval done. Whew, that was tough. I find it really difficult to run at 4:25 per kilometer, because between 4 and 4:15 is like the pace that I was doing my previous intervals at, and then obviously my recovery runs are like 5:30, so anywhere between those two I find quite difficult, but that'll be my 10k pace, so definitely worth practicing. Doggos everywhere. This is what I had to put up with, but I can cope, I guess. Next interval. Woo, 2 out of 4, let's go. So tired, so tired. Two reps done, 2 reps to go. Yeah, definitely not fit right now, but it's all part of the process. I'm happy to be out, that is all. So happy. Last rep, let's get it. Woo, woo, woo. I'm done. Bloody hell, that was tough. I think I stuck to the paces. It does say on my watch, but I never have the energy to look, so who knows. I always find this last cool down bit the toughest, because you get your fast interval and then your recovery, and you finish off on a recovery, and all I want to do is collapse on the floor, because I gave it my all on the last interval. But this is like when you're doing hill sprints and you're not supposed to stop at the top of the hill. You're supposed to keep striding on the flat top bit of the hill to get used to continuing running when you're tired. So I feel like this last 400 meters, even though it's very slow, is quite important. Anyway, finally get to run home now and then collapse in a heap for all of 2 minutes, and then I have some conference things this afternoon, so back into human clothes and off out again. Oh, but yeah, I think these sessions are great as well, because they are mixed up. They're always different. You never really have the same session.
So I'm yet to get bored, which is great. And like Tuesdays for me is tempo and Thursdays is intervals. So that was technically a tempo session because my heart rate doesn't go down loads between each interval. Whereas Thursday's one, I get to walk and recover between the intervals, and they're a lot shorter and faster. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get my breath back now and wander back. Perks of the warm-up being uphill is a nice downhill stretch all the way back home, just to truly destroy my legs. Woo! Great fun. So I'm back from my run, just about recovered and dressed. That was really tough. Actually, I found it so much more difficult getting back to intervals than I expected. Obviously, while I've been ill, I've not been doing interval training sessions. I've literally just been doing, well, recovery runs, basically really slow runs, just trying to keep my heart rate low, or just outright resting, not actually running at all. I spent a few days in bed as well, which I think was kind of vital to actually getting back to being able to run again. So the first session back is always going to be difficult, but I got it done, managed to do the session, and I'm really happy with that. If you guys want to check out Runna, so obviously I will keep talking about it and bring you along to the sessions and telling you how it's going. So far I'm super impressed, so if you guys want to check it out, I'm going to put the links all down below. I also have a discount code. I asked the guys if they would give me a discount code for you guys, and they said that if you use the code Flora, it gives you 2 weeks free, and I will link that down below as well. It's an app, so obviously everything has to be done on your phone, but they have a website as well, which explains really clearly what they're about and why they're so great, basically. So I will obviously share everything with you and any pros, cons, all that kind of stuff. This isn't an ad as well, but I'm excited. I'm happy so far. And the thing that I have found best and different to the sort of things that you can get off the internet, you know, when you just search in like 10K training program or something, you can't type in like how frequently you do interval sessions or which days of the week you can train or whether you want to incorporate strength and conditioning. You can't change all those parameters when you just download a plan from the internet. And obviously with a coach you can do that, but coaches are what, like 100 quid a month, sometimes 150 quid a month. They are not cheap, and this app is 15 quid a month, which, you know, most people, if you have a gym membership, that's more than 15 quid a month, and we'll do that to go to the gym once or twice a week, if that. Whereas when you're running and you're a runner, you run, you know, most days of the week. So in terms of bang for buck, I think it's pretty darn good and significantly better than anything you can get off the internet. So you can either put your beginner, intermediate, advanced, or expert. I put myself as advanced because I'm quite used to doing interval training. Not that my paces are insane, but that I know what interval training is like. My body is used to that sort of load and I can manage it, even though I did take quite a long period of time off. And that gives you a training program with, well, for me it was 2 interval training sessions a week, plus long run, plus recovery runs, etc. But if you put yourself as a beginner, then it's not going to give you 2 interval training sessions a week because your body is going to be overloaded no matter the mileage. So I think that's really clever, and I'm going to have a little bit more of a play around and see what they do for like the marathon training or 5K training, or like if you want to get a half marathon PB, all that kind of stuff. And it's a relatively new thing, so I imagine they will be doing lots and lots of different updates as time goes on. But that is it. That is me for this week. I am wearing a fancy dress because I have events all afternoon and evening, so I'm wearing normal people clothes, which is good, but I'm knackered and I wish I could just run and not do anything else, but hey ho. That is it for this week's vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and hit the subscribe button. Let me know if you have any suggestions or things that you would like to know about in future vlogs. I'm always happy to answer your guys' questions, and of course do come over and follow me on Instagram and or TikTok. My Instagram is @foodfitnessflora, and my TikTok is just my name, Flora Beverley, same as this channel. I'm sharing various bits over in both those places. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye!